Reverend Herbert Naro Shoko.
Yes, my brother.
No, we are good. We are good. And the day is drawing closer. The day of your ordination. How are you feeling about that?
Imagine. It's really drawing closer. Yeah, you know, when I got ordained deacon, you just think that, priesthood is just part of it because they are all holy orders, because you receive both at the same time. So you think you are ready, but it's only when the days are drawing closer and the preparations, everyone running around. And then, so it's just a whole bag of feelings, mixed feelings, you know. Anxiety which is growing by day. And also, but also that readiness. Also, I think I feel I'm ready.
Okay.
Even though I'm anxious, but I hope on the day I won't faint or something. Because I can feel it, especially when I meet people who are responsible for various committees for my ordination. Back in Gokwe, here in Harare, at the parish where I work, especially when they ask you some pertinent questions, you know, about what we are going to use. It's like they're asking me as if I'm a priest already, you know, which color of chasuble, what kind of stuff. Those are new conversations, you know, that I have to start to acclimatize to. It's all mixed feelings.
And before now, how has been the preparation for the ordination in terms of your formation? How has it been?
Okay, it has been a journey. 12 years now from the day I formally entered. But if I am to look back even before I entered, that was when I was in primary school. I just grew up in these circles, you know. My home is just next to the convent, you know. It's just a stone throw from the convent and from the cathedral. So it's an environment that I always admired and also always wished that one day maybe I'll become. Especially seeing some posters, you know, of Franciscans or Benedictine monks, you know, in a flowery environment, beautiful water flowing, praying. So that always gave me a lot of serenity, so to speak, because I was a child growing up. And also that proximity with the religious sisters, the Daughters of Calvary, to be specific. We had also LCBOs, but in another parish, my parish, we had Daughters of Calvary. And we had a very close family relationship with them. And then the diocesan priests who are responsible for the cathedral, mainly the vicar generals, who have been there since Father Floro, who later on became Bishop Floro, and now the late, and all the priests who came afterwards. So I grew up participating from Holy Childhood, altar servers, youth. And then, that's when my journey to the Jesuits started. My parish, or my diocese actually is now Jesuits. So,
I wanted to ask that you come from Gokwe, and Jesuits are not in Gokwe.
They are not Jesuits in Gokwe.
How do we balance that? How did you meet the Jesuits? And of all the congregations that are around, why the Jesuits?
I see. I think Jesuits are not there physically, but I think spiritually I could feel it. It's only when I was in A-level, that's when I discovered the Jesuits through a friend who was from Gokwe, but you know, he also grew up here in Harare. So he always, and some religious sisters like Sister Mercy Machona, I don't know if you know her.
No, I don't.
Yes, so she's, when we were doing some group discussions at school, you know, preparing for exams and so on, especially the ZIMSEC finals. That's when I overheard, it was an eavesdropping him, and because he also wanted to, he's now a software engineer, it's called Takunda Mazamba. He wanted to be, that's the guy who was supposed to be a priest.
Not true.
It was inside my head, but he was the guy. So, so I overheard them talking about, the Jesuits, what they do, and especially the social dynamic, the social aspect of it. Because I told you, I grew up inspired to the spiritual dynamic, a monastic life and so on and so on. But when I grew up, I realized, I think that would be a bit of too much. And also being in my diocese, says I appreciate diocesan life being stable and one, but I wanted something that is, I didn't know what I wanted, but something just more.
Beyond that.
Beyond that. So discovering people like Gonzalo, I loved history. You know? So discovering people like Gonzalo da Silveira, and then hearing about Survey House and the social work that they do.
And
then also, which was actually founded by Father John Dove, whom is one of those guys, especially from this context, whom I really admire. That really inspired me. Consalo, it was a failed mission, but I think that was the beginning.
That was a seed.
That was a seed.
Yes.
That was a seed. And then, by that time, Jesuits were still at the cathedral. So I ended up getting the address from Father, the late Brian Enright. Who later gave me the address to the society. And then it was just a kid's play. I gave my uncle to write the letter.
The letter for you?
On his typewriter.
And
then, I never took him seriously because I wanted to go and do motor. It was auto engineering. That's when it was fashionable to do that, or to go to Joburg. That's what was fashionable. So he came, he got the address from Enright, he wrote a letter, and then he just informed me that's what I said, but because someone had told me that it's very difficult to enter the Jesuits. It's almost impossible. And then me coming from Goku, I never imagined that I would join. But I just wanted him at least to exhaust his desire, then I would pursue my journey. But
was it difficult?
In 2 weeks, the letter was responded.
So it's not that difficult as people think, right?
In 2 weeks, the letter was responded. I was invited for come and see. It was August 2011. I was in, 2010, I was in Lower 6. And then I came for the December one, 2010. And then 2011, I came for the August one, and then I was supposed to go for interviews in 2012, but I couldn't manage. And then that's when I went for candidates in Bari, staying there at St. Peter's Bari. And then getting to know the Jesuits better since I was coming from a context where they're not Jesuits.
That's true.
Then I fell in love. I got in contact. So that's how it started.
Until now, you are still in love, I suppose.
But like any other relationship, along the way you fight, you have ups and downs. It has been a growing experience from novitiate. You get in a crisis, you think, I think now it's time I should do otherwise or become otherwise. But we thank God the Spirit continues. I think also going back to that initial zeal, the childhood zeal that I had, and also discovering even more, especially when you get into the society, you start to see how it was founded. These university guys who just had a dream, in the 15th century or somewhere, 16th century. And then you have people like Francis Xavier, who later on leave the comfort of Europe, goes to the Indies, to India, So that missionary zeal, I think, is something that I was looking for, and I found it here. And so that's why whenever we have conflicts and so on, inside and internal and external, I think I still feel that I'm at the right place, and I hope that grace will continue, and even that love also continues to grow. It just doesn't become just naive love for the society, love for the church, but it becomes something existential, something that I really live,
Let's talk about your background. You grew up close to the convent, close to the parish, but let's talk about your family. How was their reaction when you first expressed your desire to become a Jesuit, or at least to become a priest in the future?
Now for them, really, it wasn't a surprise because my father is my uncle actually, because he's the one who raised me. Yes, my parents are late, and then I grew up in that extended family, and then so I'm part of that family, like a child, So it's rare for me to call him uncle. He's father and mother, Yes. So when I say my father, I mean that guy. So he wanted to be a priest. He went to the seminary.
Himself?
He went to the seminary.
And
he did minor seminary there in Wange and Dete, and then he went to Marist. He went to even philosophy. But also he had his own crisis along the way. He fell off and then joined the police. That was pre-independence time. And then he continued. So it was something that he wanted someone of his blood
to take over.
To take over. So that's what basically happened. So they were they are still very supportive.
Until today. And your peers, those I know.
Those ones even now they don't believe it. They think that the guy is just
he's
just
you come back.
You come back. Yes. So it has been 12 years now. People saying that are you back now? So whenever I visit home, but something that many people struggled with for a long time. It's only until recently when they are now starting to accept that maybe there's God or grace works.
It does. I think it does. And I think that's the importance of when we do the spiritual exercises to reread your story, to go back and realize how God has been journeying with you throughout.
Yes.
And even in the turbulences that you encounter, you realize that God was always there with you, even in the most unfortunate circumstances.
Yes, from day one.
Now, we understand also that you went to Brazil for your theology.
Yes.
Portuguese, new culture, new experiences. How was it? And why Brazil, where others are going to Kenya?
It was the time when I was doing my regency in Chinoi, Mukonde, St. Rupert.
Which you loved, right?
So much. I was in love with St. Rupert. And then Father Leonard Chiti visited us there. And so what was happening, working with the kids in the high school, and there was also a primary school. I was more involved with the high school. And I also had the background of Mozambique, of Portuguese, where I had also done part of my regency. I think 1 year I was there, and then 1.5 in Chinoi. So it's not something that I really asked, because I thought, my Portuguese journey, I think it has ended here after I left Brazil, because I had gone there for language immersion. I had gone to Beira in 2016, and then 2017 for this province holiday. In second year you go back to your province for holiday. So I did my holiday there in Maputo.
Okay.
And then regions, my first mission was Mozambique. So I thought that was
enough.
Yeah, my journey, it was along those lines. Then when my mission was not successful in Mozambique, coming back here, I thought that was it.
Okay.
And then so the incoming provincial came, and so it just came with that idea, go to Brazil.
Okay.
Which I was not expecting. I actually wanted to go and do other things, like, Jesuits, to start other things. I wanted to go and do some refresher, in order to come back to my senses, because that was also the time of crisis. I was in a vocation crisis that time. So, but I think the grace of God led the provincial, I think, to help me to go, because theology is also prayer.
Exactly. You study as you pray.
You study as you pray. But now going that side with very little or no Portuguese, and it's a bit different culture, very different from what I had experienced in Mozambique, even the way they speak, even the way they write, even the way it's a completely different kind of, it's Portuguese, but it's another kind of Portuguese, especially when it comes to academics, when you have to read in Portuguese, write everything. There's no room for English, so it was a very rough patch at first. But thank God we managed to do what we could.
And you came back alive.
Alive and very successful.
Now we thank God for that. And currently, as you're waiting for your priestly ordination and probably work after ordination, what are you doing?
Currently, I'm here at Chishawasha Mission Primary School. But it's not only here. There are 3 primary schools. There's this Chishawasha Primary School. There's Peter Clever Primary up there, the stream. And there's St. Joseph Primary at the
by the roadside.
Yes, by the roadside. As you enter Chishawasha Valley. So we have 3 valley schools where I work as the chaplain. Since 10 February this year, I've been working as the chaplain.
Inspiring the young.
Inspiring the young. And then from the 2nd of August, I will be also helping in the parish as the assistant parish priest. So I'll be here as chaplain in the schools, and then in the parish, assistant to my boss, Father Silungwe.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And how has been the experience of shepherding these young ones?
Yeah, this was a nightmare at first. I never imagined myself in a primary school setup. From candidates, I was always in high schools. It's a group of people that I thought I could easily relate with. These ones, I thought they're still too young, which I don't have the patience. I don't have there's need for a lot of patience with them. Which I thought I didn't have. And so they've taught me really well to be patient with, and also not to quickly judge, say that children are like this. Some of them are very mature and they have stories which you can really relate to and actually which can really inspire one. So it didn't turn out to be a nightmare. It was actually, I have never beaten one of them, any of them, and they actually respect me, and I don't find a lot of job, to hustle to make them cooperate. They just spontaneously cooperate. And I really thank God for that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. And if you look back to your story until today, there are many things that you have done in the Society of Jesus, whether it's apostolates or where you have gone for studies, things that you never dreamt of before you joined or even during this process of formation. What does that say about a religious life or Jesuit life? Probably dreams that you had at the beginning versus the things that you ended up doing throughout.
From the time I went to the novitiate, the kind of works that I found myself doing, especially, I remember so vividly at Mother Teresa Hospital, that one in
Yes,
Mtendere.
The hospice in Mtendere.
Hospice with the people, with the lepers and so on. And then my experience at Katondwe in a hospital.
Down in the, in Luangwa.
In Luangwa, down in Luangwa there, the kind of experience, cleaning toilets, working with the ancillary staff at a hospital. But sometimes also helping in the maternity, helping in the theater. So those kind of works, and then at Arupe, during my philosophy time, that's when I think I also had a very good opportunity to find out, especially when it comes to this social responsibility, which is something that had inspired me initially. So coming up with that concept, the solidarity with the poor, which is, I'm so happy that it's still running and it has been adopted by the university now as a service outreach program that is now a tool and instrument that the university is now using. And it's an idea that came, people just discussing, how we used to do it. And then it came out to be like that. And also, in Makonde, working with those people, in a zoo, working with people who are less privileged, if we were to put it in that way. And so being always on this side of the marginalized, if we were to use just language, side of the less privileged, it has been always something that shaped this kind of an ideal priest that I always carry.
You mentioned earlier that among the Jesuits that worked locally, you had some who really sort of were a source of admiration for you. And one of those is Father John Dove. Now we are at a place where he was buried. Can you say more about that? How did he inspire you, or what was the source of this admiration?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I think is one of those giants, the two giants I respect from this part of the province, who really worked in the area of social justice in a way that we could feel, or we could even still sense to date. Him and Father Ted Rogers, who founded St. Peter's Kubatana. Now we have a high school there and a technical school. I know some of those graduates from that school who are all over the world, working as social workers and caregivers and everything. Then talking of this giant lying here, Father Dove Silveira House was one of the first senders that I knew about Jesuits, especially with the association with Father Gonçalo da Silveira.
Because of the name.
Of the name. And then Silveira was that name being associated with this guy who came, with the zeal to spread Christianity, with the zeal to evangelize, souls in this on this part of the world. His name being recovered and then being given to such an important institution, especially during that time of the liberation struggle. That's when, and I'm a very big fan, of the history of that period. Especially the one that led us to independence, and hearing of the crucial role that this man played. Not only supporting my comrades and the guerrillas, but also, you remember on his funeral, the president then was here. May you so rest in peace, the late R.G. Mugabe. They knew his impact. And then those home domestic, kind of works that they were training, like dressmaking, what is that, cooking, what is that just called? Hygiene, all those things, mechanics.
There was a lot that was happening.
There was a lot, there was just a lot.
It was not only about the comrades that were fighting for, but I think to give some kind of foundation to black people, Zimbabweans that were previously marginalized by the system.
Even at an intellectual level, most of them, they were formed there, including that former president whom we talked about. They were trained there, they were given, it's called civic education from there. There was a very powerful center for civic education, which is something that we, the young generation, need to really relook at. Father Mkonore, I remember during one of his interviews, saying that what we really need now is civic education in schools. It was there then, he was also there, Father Mkonore. So with the guidance of this giant who is lying here. So I really have a great admiration, which can actually transform into inspiration. From this man lying here.
We hope so. It's interesting though. What interests me about the name Silveira is that, Father Silveira himself probably lived less than 4 months in Zimbabwe in the 16th century. So under normal circumstances, you'd think that his name would be forgotten because it was a failed mission and all that, just like the first Zambezi mission. But it's beautiful to realize that someone thought about it and really gave life to that name and
indeed.
To the side of Jesus at large.
Indeed. And when you learn about Gonçalo da Silveira in the history books, he's a figure who appears from almost primary school,
That's true.
But the SJ part is never
not
mentioned.
There. I was surprised when I realized it later that this guy was a Jesuit. Because we studied him and there was no mention that he was a Jesuit.
So for me, hearing that he was a Jesuit and I've heard things about Jesuits, I began to be more curious to understand who are these Jesuits. And then that's how I found myself applying and finding myself in the society to date.
Are there other people that you want to thank as you look back in your vocation, but also towards this period of ordination?
There's a whole long list. Like if you look at the theme of my ordination, that one, which Philippians 4 verse 4. But on verse 3, Paul mentions of Clement, mentions of some women, and many others whose names are in the book of life.
That's true.
But not forget my mother and father back in Gokwe. I think they're the ones who really nurtured this vocation, Mr. and Mrs. Shoko. Baba na mai Shoko, Maziro wanoitiwa back there in Gokwe. And also Sekuru Floro, the late. I think he was very instrumental in my vocation. When I told you I wanted to join the diocese because that's what was close to home, attending pre-seminary workshops and everything. So he was actually disappointed when I said I wanted to be a Jesuit. But at the same time, he became the most supportive person who actually wanted to be at my ordination, but unfortunately,
he's gone.
He is gone. God did called him, and I believe his spirit is with us,
Yes.
is with me, and is going to continue to. And he was also a missionary from Spain, you know.
Yeah,
He
that's
also
true.
did a lot of
That's true.
wonderful missionary work. And there are many others. My novice master, my rectors at Arupe, my superiors during Regency. There's Father Mula and Father Mutimutema.
Yeah.
And then my rector in Brazil, now my current superior, the provincials that are from Father Backland, Father Chiesa, and then currently Father Leonard Chitty. So I think those are all the people and all my friends, yourself included.
Some
eh?
of us.
And all these friends, companions who have been guiding, journeying with me in my strengths, in my weaknesses, I think. Always helping each other, I really appreciate.
Reverend Shoko Naro, thank you so much for the time that you have given us, and we wish you all the best as you prepare for the ordination, but also for the future mission that's waiting for you. And I hope that you manage, by the grace of God, of course, to manage the turbulences that come. And use the graces that come also to inspire the people, the way you were inspired by many other people that you grew up seeing in your life.
Amen.